We regret to announce the death of our beloved Allain Paul, also known as Poyot or Allain, of Grace Vieux, who passed away on January 12, 2026 at his residence at approximately 4:10 p.m. He was 60 years old. He was an employee of PVF Stevedoring Services, Inc., attached to Port Vieux. He was predeceased by his father, Harris James Paul, also known as Harrow, of Grace Vieux. Left to mourn are his wife, Amelina Paul, also known as Amelia, of Grace Vieux. Mother, Lucy Paul, also known as Nanki, of Grace Vieux. Children, Neville Paul, Nicholas Paul, Clara Paul, Nigel Shalry, all of Grace Vieux. Adopted son, Leron Shalry, also known as Ray, of Grace Vieux. Sisters, Lorna Brett and family of Lamaz Chozel, Sophia Paul of Grace Vieux, Eugenie Paul Mooney, principal of Piero Combined School. Brothers, Johnson Paul, also known as Jimmy, of the USA, Victor Paul, also known as Jerry, of Grace Vieux. Hayden Paul, also known as Sugar, of Grace Vieux. Henry Paul, of Grace Vieux. Bertrand Paul, of the USA. Ricardo Paul, of Grace Vieux, employed of Bank of St. Lucia, Vieux. Baptist Paul, of the USA. Alan Gregg, also known as Buju Shiloh, and family of Castries. Aunts, Eileen and family of Cantonment Auger. Bacon and family of Mayer and Forester. Sylvelia and family of the USA. Judith and family of Barbados. Uncle Kapu of Cantonment Auger. Grandchildren, Melanie Shalry of Grace Vieux. Maisha Monrose of Grace Vieux. Deshane Paul of Grace Vieux. Alan Paul Jr. of Grace Vieux. Amara Shalry of Piero Vieux. Nieces and nephews including Melba Charles Paulinese of Grace, Stacy Paul in Holland, Shalana Paul in St. Martin, Shamika Paul Joseph, employed at Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, Chris Ann Mooney, teacher at Labrie Girls Primary School, Ethan Mooney, student of Vieux Comprehensive Secondary School, Davis Jean-Baptiste, Chantal Ephraim, Junior Ephraim, Shanta, Shadami, Shemi Paul, all of Marisol Grosley, Cheyenne Fitz of Corinth, Vicky Matthew of Blackvay, Vic Paul of Larry Seuss, Kearney Jean-Baptiste, also known as Beefy, Donnell, Vernell, and Arnell, all of Grace Vieux. Lizzie Paul of Grace, Zara Paul, teacher at Labrie Girls Primary School, Edley Paul of the USA, Giano Jr. Paul of the USA, Adania Paul of the USA, Renato Paul, student at the Miku Secondary School, Rennie Paul of Miku, Soleil and Amani Paul of the USA, brothers-in-law Anthony Flavius and family of Auger Vieux, Sean Flavius and family of Grace Vieux, Randy Phillip and family of Auger Vieux, Jonas Phillip and family of Grace Vieux, Curtis Flavius of St. Croix USVI, George Connor of St. Martin, sisters-in-law Leah Mathre and family of Auger Vieux, Kathy Jean-Baptiste and family of the USA, Mary Anna George and family of Grace Vieux, Lisa Paul, employed at Massey's Stores, Latonnais, Benita Charles of Grace Vieux, Joyce Paul of Connecticut, Fion Paul of the USA. Also left to mourn, the George family of Debrel Chozel, the Alexander family of Bellevue Vieux, the staff of PVF Stevie Doran Services at Port Vieux, Nisha Flavius of Grace Vieux, Mary Flavius of OGV4, Nadra Lloyd of the USA, Irvin Shalry of the USA, Rebecca King of Graceview 4, Denise Daisy of Graceview 4, Virgin Cyrilia Velda, Glenise all of Chazelle, Geraldine Brathwaite of Graceview 4, Barbara Serrier of Graceview 4, Shirley Shalry of Graceview 4, Victor Hutchinson of View 4, Gabriel Victor, also known as Tubby of Graceview 4, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, Parliamentary Representative for View 4 North, Pastor Wilson Collymore of the Grace Evangelical Church, Pastor Hazel William of the Grace Baptist Church, Lorne Casabon of LED Lifton, Matthias Richard, also known as Sappy of View 4, Philia Wilson of Slaspa View 4, Pamela Shalmine, Courtney Asson, and Jack Justin, all of Graceview 4. Many other friends and family too numerous to mention. The funeral service for the late Allain Paul, also known as Poyot or Allain, will be held at the Grace Evangelical Church on Saturday, January 31st, 2026 at 2:30 p.m. The body will then be interred at the Latony Public Cemetery. The body now lies at Rambali's Funeral Parlor, Latony View 4. He will be dearly missed. May his soul rest in eternal peace.